Hi, welcome to your channel. Today is the first day of the third chapter, that is, follow your passion, maybe. Let's start. Get paid to do what you love by making sure it connects to what other people want. Like many of us, Gary Lev begins his day with email as a CFO for two university research centers in Northern Virginia. He is in touch with colleagues from mornings to night. It's a good job that he enjoys and he has no plans to leave. But the early morning email traffic comes from another source. Grace Gary's part-time business as a sweet kind of consultant. Like me, Gary is an active travel hacker, earning hundreds of thousands of frequent flyer miles every year through various airline promotions. Many executives also earn plenty of miles, usually from business credit card charges. But earning miles and redeeming them for actual vacations are two different things. The executives typically have no idea how the process works and don't have the time to learn. How many miles do you need for any specific trip? What if the airline tells you no seats are available? If you don't know what you are doing, it's easy to get frustrated and give up. That's where Gary comes in. For a free, currently $250 for up to two passengers with the same itinerary, Gary will set up the trip of your dreams based on preferences you select. Clients tell Gary where they want to go, which airline their miles are coming from, and any restrictions they have on their travel dates. Then Gary gets to work combing databases to check on availability, phoning the airlines and tracking advantage of every loophole. It may sound strange to pay $250 for something you could do on your own for free, but the value Gary provides through the service is immense. Many of the trips he arranges would otherwise cost $5,000 or more. He specializes in first and business class itineraries, and some of them feature as many as six airlines on single award ticket. You want a free stopover in Paris en route to Johannesburg? No problem. You want to allow plenty of time to visit the Lufthansa first class terminal in Frankfurt, Frankfurt before continue on to Singapore. Done. If he is not successful in booking your trip, you don't pay. The business succeeds only when it provides a real value to clients. In addition to executives, Gary's clients are often retirees headed for cruises and couples planning a once in a lifetime trip. Basically, anyone who has a bunch of miles but doesn't want to go through the hassle of figuring out how to use them. Business picked up after he was featured in Con- Condé Nast Traveler. But aside from calling the airlines to book the tickets, Gary manages communications entirely by email. The part time job brought in $75 last year and is on track to top six figures annually. Since he has the fully time CFO gig and other business ventures, Gary invests the money instead of spending it. I honestly do this because it's fun, he says. Meanwhile, he cashes in miles from his own bulging mileage accounts to travel the world with his wife, squeezing in luxury trips to the Philippines and Thailand between financial planning meetings back home. Gary's business, like many others we will look at, can be described as a follow your passion business. Gary was passionate about travel and had found a number of creative ways to enjoy first class trips around the world at economic prices. He started helping people to do the same thing first as a volunteer community member for several travel forums, then on a blog, and then on an individual basis for people he knew. Word got around, hey Gary, I would like to take my wife to Europe and I have all these miles. What do I do? And before he knew it, he had more requests for help than he could handle. The next logical step was to start charging. He built a very basic website and set up shop in short period of time. Not entirely sure what would happen next. Would anyone purchase this unusual service? Well, yes, they would. Even though Gary is content in his day job and has no plans to leave, he no longer depends on it. If something changed at work, he would have no problem living off the funds from his side business or ramping it up or to something bigger. Gary's story is inspiring, but not all that uncommon. As I paused for case studies and went from interview to interview, I learned to stop being surprised when I heard that a coupon clipping website run by a single mom brought in $60,000 part time, or that a handmade toy business was closing in on $250,000 and hiring multiple employees. Okay, the instant consultant biz. Gary's business is great, and no one course that his website looks like it was made 10 years ago. He also didn't wait for someone to accredit endorse him for his business. There is no consulting school or degree. You can start a new business as a consultant in about 1 day, if not sooner. Follow these two basic rules. Number one, pick something specific as opposed to something general. Don't be a business consultant or a little life coach. Get specified about what you can really do for someone. Number two, no one value a $15 an hour consultant. So do not underprice your service. Since you probably won't have 40 hours of billable work every week, charge at least $100 an hour or a comparable fixed rate for the benefit you provide. Opening for business. I will help clients dash. After hiring me, they will receive core benefit plus secondary benefit. I will charge X dollar per hour or a flat rate of dash per service. This rate is fair to the client and me too. My basic website will contain these elements: the core benefit that I provide for clients and what qualifies me to provide it. Remember that qualifications may have nothing to do with education or certification. Gary is qualified to book vacations with Miles because he's done it for himself many times. At least two side stories of two others have been helped by the service. If you don't have paying clients yet, do the work for free with someone you know. Pricing details. Always be upfront about fees. Never make potential clients writes or call to find out how much something costs. How to hire me immediately. This should be very easy. I will find clients through word of mouth, Google, blogging, standing on the street, corner, etc. I will have my first client on or before dash short deadline. Welcome to consulting. You are now a business. You are now in business. When I met Megan and at the co-working space she owns in Omaha, it was 6 p.m. and she was just coming to work. Megan keeps odd us, preferring to walk through the night with her infant in tow. Unlike most of our stories, Megan was determined to be an entrepreneur from a young age. I started when I was 19 and sophomore in college, she said. And I never intended to do anything by it, work for myself. I always knew that I don't want a conventional job, so I never expected to resign myself to a fate other than the one I wanted as an artist. I worked a few 8 to 5 desk jobs, but I wasn't discouraged because I only saw them as the means to an end, gaining enough capital to start my own full time venture. Megan now makes custom wedding dresses and bridal accessories full time, selling them to women aged 24 to 30 all over the world. 42% of our customers base is international. After earning $40,000 a year, her first year she is now scaling up by carefully hiring two employees as well as founding the co-working space where her business is situated. Since she is the owner, no one can complain about her night owl work habits. Almost every business owner we will meet in our journey has at least one disaster story when something went off track or even threatened the life of the business. In Megan's case, the big disaster came right before the holiday season in 2010. After spending 70 hours crafting high-end flower kits for two customers, she skipped them out via the US postal service and the packages disappeared into the postal service void. It was terrible. Megan told me I had to refund money I didn't have, and the worst part was thinking about the brides who now didn't have flowers for their wedding. But she did what she had to do, refunded money, wrote teary apology notes, posted the whole story on her blog for others to learn from, and moved on. Aside from vowing never to use USPS again, Megan loves her businesses and won't want to do anything differently. I spent every day learning from people who inspired and motivate me in the co-working space. She says, and and I interact every day with customers who are in midst of their own love stories. I have a young daughter who I am able to bring to work. My earning potential is unlimited, and I am free to reinvest in my happiness with every dollar that comes in. Okay, if you are new on the channel, subscribe the channel and press the bell icon so that you will get notification about new video upload. Don't forget to like and share. Thank you so much.